right. I am super excited to be here with my client, Julie from Happy Mind Guide. She has been so patient as we tried to go live in the Facebook group and it did not work. And then I tried a different way and it did not work. And I tried a different way and it did not work. And it's just never going to work, is it? So we have a couple people joining us in a Zoom room now. I am muting them so that they don't speak over us. But if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I will also be putting this recording into the Facebook group and then later onto the podcast. So if you're listening later, we just appreciate you listening. So welcome, Julie. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
So happy to be here. And it's funny because this is such a popular topic with people. And I named this the Getting Clients Without Social Media because you're sort of this amazing coach that I've been working with who you decided like that approach doesn't really work for me. And it's worked very well for you to not put so much time and energy into social media. So we're going to talk about that today. But I also want to talk about your experience working with me and how you sort of came to that place, figuring out like you didn't want to do so much social media anymore. So I'll start from square one, just so that you can get the full picture.
Yeah.
What originally made you sign up to coach with me?
Well, I started to follow you on Facebook and on Instagram, and it was just like, oh wow, she's so authentic. You were like for me the girl next door, just to help me and go along with me on that special ride through life. And after a few times watching you online, seeing your newsletters, I was like, oh my God, she's the one who's going to help me move forward. And then I just took the decision. I didn't know if you were coaching back then, if you took on new people. I just asked the question. And then you said, yeah, sure, let's have a chat. And then I was so thrilled. And I don't regret one instant of it.
It's funny because we also very much connected on a TV show on Netflix, Virgin River,
Yes.
and on our birthdays and on all sorts of things. It all just sort of came together. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, sometimes you have those soulmate clients. It just happens, which is amazing. Yeah, so true. Glad to be able to work with you and be your coach. So in terms of your business and how we work together, what would you say have been your biggest shifts?
Well, for me, the first one is really to narrow down my niche, to make it very clear for with whom I would be working with. Because before I was like, yeah, let's all come to me and see what will happen. But with narrowing it down, it just helped me to focus so much better those people I wanted to help, because we would have a link. I have something to share with them, and this is so much easier. That was a really big one. There was another one, the change of how do I present myself and what's my program on my website. I'm in business now for 3 years, and this was a huge topic I had to handle, was my website. But it never came through. I never had the time. I really was like, when I'm going to do this. And then with you, it just did it in a few weeks' time. We narrowed it down, what I wanted to do in my program, how to present myself, what to put in it. I even translated it in Dutch, because I'm from Belgium and I have a huge Dutch audience. But for me, it was like, okay, now I can do it in English and I can do it in Dutch. So that was also a big win for me on that part. Another one also was the prices. That's a big one for me. Before, I really charged by the hour, but I never knew when someone would be, well, they came back, but it's not that I could say, okay, they'll be coming back for the next couple of 6 months, so I couldn't book my agenda. It was just like, okay, so for now, next week, the couple of weeks who are coming, I know people will come by. And that was that. And with changing of my prices and be more clear too, and link them to my program, this really helped me to, I'm booked now till October. And even last year, this was something I just could only dream of. And we only started coaching this year, end of January, beginning of February. So this went really fast. And it's a really good way for me to fill in my agenda, to focus on the people I'm coaching, and to be really there for them, just to, yeah, give my time to them and not to think, okay, where is my next client coming from? So that was also a very, yeah, huge win for me. And it's these simple things, but you don't always think about it. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like I just need to recap all that for everybody. I think the biggest thing was what you said about the pay per session model, and how it was just, in many ways, I think it was just keeping you stuck and keeping it from being sustainable, because you never knew when people were coming. You never knew when they would use up their sessions. It was just a very hard model for creating that consistent, sustainable income.
Yeah.
And just, you made me like tear up a little bit. I mean, everybody knows, it's followed me long enough, knows that I can cry very easily. But I'm like, you're booked through October, and it just makes me so happy.
Yeah. And I even think it's November now, if I check my agenda.
You're booked through November, even better, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you talked about something that I think is so important, which is that clarity piece of really knowing who you're talking to, and also then like using that as the foundation of creating everything else. I also love that you were like, I didn't want to do my website. I kept putting it off. I didn't think I had time. And then you did it in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Huge imposter syndrome. Huge.
It can get so in the way. Yeah. Because it feels very weird to put yourself out there online and be like, I am the expert to help you with this. But
yeah,
you are the expert, which is so exciting.
Oh, thank you.
So exciting. So let's get in, I think, to the biggest question that we're all here for. What would you say are your main marketing strategies? Where are your clients normally coming from?
Well, before I was very focused a lot on Facebook and Instagram, but no one came through that. And this was really something you helped me to see, because, okay, focus on what is working. So when I redirected my focus, it was like, okay, my website is working and people are looking me up on the internet. And then, yeah, I'm writing articles through my newsletters. I'm posting in a magazine. So, yeah, these were the things that I had to nourish and to feed a bit more. And just being on those kind of points, it just came naturally. So I didn't have to, even for the first 5, 6, I didn't have to do any extra thing to have people coming in. It just came out of those things that I did already, but that just improved and refocused on.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, and you may have mentioned this, but you changed a few words in like an online listing. I'm trying to think of like exactly what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm talking about. There is a place that you added yourself as a coach, like a local, I think it's local for you.
Yeah, it's a website, Find a Coach. So
Yeah.
I listed on that one, and it's just one listing. Okay, I pay 130 euros more or less each year. So it's not expensive, but most of my clients are just coming through that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing, because I think people would be like, what? Because it's such a simple thing. And I know you'd used it for a while and you weren't getting like a ton of results there, but then you changed a few keywords and then you were like, yeah, and suddenly here we are, which is so amazing. It doesn't have to be this like big thing. You don't have to spend $1,000 on ads. You don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
You find the thing that like really works for you, which is writing and the thing that you love to do, versus this thing that I think we all think we have to do, which is be on Instagram or be on Facebook to get clients, because we see everybody else do it and it seems like people are successful. So we're like, I'll do it too. And then we're like, why isn't this working for me?
Yeah. And normally it doesn't work. You don't know how does it work, the whole Facebook thing. Okay, I had to put on ads, and how does that work? And I have to put in money, and I'm not sure if I get a return, if people will see me, because it's not so easy. And it will work for other people maybe, but it didn't work for me. And I'm happy that I took a step back, because it gave me so much more freedom for myself, just to not being on socials anymore. I'm still visible, but it's not that it's taking all of my time, and that's a huge difference for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think just the ability of not having to post regularly, not having to be on stories every day, not having to be whatever, if that's not your thing or if it's not working for you, that
Yeah.
can be really draining. It can
Hmm.
also be something that just feels like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a really good analogy. It's sort of like you're handcuffed to your phone, right? You have to be next
Yeah,
to
it
your
is.
phone.
That
Yeah.
was the thing I held the whole time in my hand. I even fell down from the stairs 1 month and a half ago because I was on socials. And then it was like, okay, I have to quit with this too because it's not working. So
Yeah.
it's, and these days our phone is really like an extension of ourselves. And I'm thinking, I'm more than that. I'm more than my phone. And I'm giving myself space now, and this space is really all the energy that I can give to my clients, and this is so work for me. Yeah,
Love it. I love it so much. And I think it's just, it's important for other people to hear that you can find success in ways that you probably haven't heard of. You can find success in ways that are a lot easier than you think they're going to be. And
yeah,
also part of that is just paying attention to what's working and paying attention to what you really enjoy doing. It's not just about like what's going to work the fastest, which I think is what happens to people when they're coaching or when they're new coaches and they're like, I just want to happen. I want it to happen fast. So I'm going to
yeah,
try all the things and then try to figure out where people are coming from. It's really hard when you do that
yeah. It
on
is.
a lot of levels.
Yeah,
So many
that's true.
levels.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a big shift. But there was something really that I remember too, and that was something you said to me, and that came through our coaching, and that was there are no rules. For me, it was like, okay, I have to post 3 times a week. I have to be on Facebook. I have to be on Pinterest. I don't know, all these socials. I have to have a YouTube channel. And then you came up with it, but yeah, there are no rules. And I thought, yeah, it's true. There are no rules. You don't have to, who invented those rules anyway to say, okay, if you do this or that, the algorithm will pick you up. For me, it's bullshit. I'm sorry to say this
Yeah.
online, but it's like, yeah, just follow what you're comfortable with and what you want to do, because then you're in it for the long run.
Yeah.
And that's what matters, because if otherwise you get burned out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's such a good approach to sort of tell yourself like it doesn't matter how long it takes. I'm going to keep at it until it happens, until it works.
Yeah.
In the sense of like not being in a hurry, because I think when you're not in a hurry and you're just committed in, you're like, well, I can just take my time and I can do
Yeah.
what feels good. And it doesn't have to be like I have to do this and I have to do that. And I love that you said the bullshit piece, because I'm like, there are no secrets. They don't exist.
Yeah.
You can't. I've heard so many like different kinds of strategies that make my head want to explode from people where they're like, okay, I've been told I need to interact with every single hashtag that's going to be on my post, and then I need to do this before I post, and then I need to do that after I post. And I'm like, who has time for that?
You really
Don't
don't
have
have
time
the
for
time
that.
for it. No.
And it's taking you
Yeah.
away from coaching, which I think is why so many people get into it. Like you want to coach, and the idea that we're supposed to spend like 10 hours a day on our phones just makes me kind of sad. And I actually really enjoy social media, but I also think that like all of these rules makes it so much more complicated and so unenjoyable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And you just have to find that thing that works for you, and that's the most important. And yeah,
exactly.
I found mine.
You found yours, and
Yeah.
it's easy for you and it feels good for you. And it's
Yeah.
been so much fun to keep getting messages from you where you're like, and I have more clients, and I have more clients.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So amazing. So amazing.
Yeah.
So I would love to know, like, what has been your biggest kind of surprise since taking away your focus from social media and really putting it towards writing and showing up in that way?
Well, the peace of mind. Before I was like constantly on. It's like even in between sessions, I was like, okay, I have to post something. Okay, what's next? I have to think about a topic. Okay, if I have to write a topic, I have to find like a picture that goes with it. I have to write my article that comes with it. Since I always want to do like, I want to give value and really go for it, this, just taking that out of the equation, oh, it just gave me so much peace of mind and yeah, energy back. Before I felt like drained, and this should have been like the thing, coaching, because I changed jobs. This was really the thing I wanted to do, where I was passionate about. But all of a sudden, I didn't have energy anymore, and it was like, is this really still my dream? So yeah, finding a new way, finding people with whom I want to work with together, who I can help, who I can serve. Yeah, this made a difference. It's yeah.
You made me tear up again.
Sorry.
It's so nice. Yeah, it does make a difference. And it sounds like it really came down to focusing on what you enjoy, but also like uncomplicating all of it. It doesn't have to be, I think we've talked about this with newsletters where, and this is not just you, a lot of my clients are like, the newsletter has to be this. It has to have these 3 things, or it has to have this, or it has to have that. No, it doesn't. Like, you could do anything you want in your newsletter and people's brains like go, what?
Yeah.
It could be easy. It could be a paragraph in your email that could be powerful enough. So I think it's so fun to like see people start to break the rules that they've somehow created for themselves. It's so much fun.
Yeah. It gives freedom.
Yeah, it's freedom. Yeah. And it's funny because that's usually the reason we start these businesses. Like, we want the freedom.
Yeah, that is it.
And then we box ourselves in with a bunch of rules. Oh, humans.
Yeah.
I would love to know, because I think this would be helpful for people who are maybe considering hiring me as a coach. Like, what would you tell people who are on the fence about working with anyone really, but with me as a coach?
Well, firstly, if they would be working with you, I would say don't hesitate. Just hop on a call with you and have a chat, and you will see how amazing Stacey is. She's the one who is there for you, who will, even through in between sessions, who will cheer for you. And yeah, that's something we just need. Just love from another human being, just to feel supported and to move forward. And this is what I had in the last couple of months. I was not alone in this. And sometimes when you have a business, you feel alone in trying to seek out in the world your place and give out your message. And when you have someone, and even if it's another coach that can help you with that, but if you have just a soundboard, someone who's just reflecting with you on, okay, we can do this or that, or okay, I'm stuck. How can I move from out of this place? It just helps you to make those little steps. And it's really, sometimes it seems like very small steps, but when you look back, you moved so far. And that's why having a coach is a good thing. And I'm a coach, but even I need a coach sometimes. So, and for that, yeah, I'm very happy that I made my choice to start working with Stacey, because it just clicked. And that's also a very important thing. Just see that you have like that, okay, this is the person that will help me. And if you don't feel it, just go looking further. Just try to talk to some other coaches, see what they have to bring in. And because it's so important that you have someone that clicks with you to go the whole way. Because if not, you're not motivated and you won't do the work.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, find the person that you connect with the most. May not be me. It may not, who knows who it is, but there are people out there that can help you, who can help you figure out exactly what works for you in your business and make it not feel so lonely, because it can feel very lonely when you're trying to build something. And for the most of us, unless we have a lot of coach friends, it can feel very lonely because it's like nobody else gets what you're trying to do. And I think this is especially true if you're still working like a job, because you know, you're in this one situation and then you're out of it. And it's very confusing sometimes. You're like, I have this bigger dream for my life, but I'm not quite there yet. And I'm surrounded by people who definitely don't get it. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's interesting. And thank you for all your feedback. That's really, really helpful. But I love that I'm like, if it's not me, find someone else.
Yeah, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
You will find a match, and that match will help you to move forward, and so important. So yeah, but they can have a match with you because for me, you're the girl next door. That's moving along with me.
Yeah, very down to earth. If you want the luxury type, I'm not your.
No, that's true. That's also the thing that made me choose you, because you weren't in a suit and or in a high heels, long dress, waving your hair, and then I was thinking, oh, she seems so normal. She's just like me in jeans, just t-shirts, and okay, she has a dog with whom she's go walking with. Oh, I'm a dog lover too, so. Yeah, okay, we found some matches, and that was the thing.
Which really goes back to, I think, too, like if you're thinking about your own coaching business and how to attract your people, like just be yourself. Yeah. I am not going to like put on really fancy clothes every day because I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah. I quit my job so that I wouldn't have to wear a suit ever, ever, ever again, and I never will. So yeah, show up as yourself. Your people will love it. And if you are super into luxury things, like find your luxury person. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That works for some people too. So I want you to tell everyone more about you, where they can find you, what you do, because I know people are going to be interested.
So I'm Julie. I'm from Belgium. I'm 37. So and what I do is I help women who feel like overwhelmed, who have the feeling of not being good enough, just to make the switch, to be re-energized and to be confident. That's what I do. And so no matter what place you are right now in your life, doesn't matter. I'll just help you to move from one point to another and just go for that life that you really want. Just with lesser stress, less hassle, more energy, and a happy mind. So you can find me on the internet back on www.happymindguide.be, where you can just reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to have a chat with you if you're on the verge to, have somebody to coach you. So and I'm bilingual, so English, Dutch, French, no problem. You can be, you're more than welcome.
Amazing. Well, I know people need what you do. I know they need your coaching, and I'm just so glad that you're out in the world, that you're getting more clients, that you're feeling confident in what you do, because I know that you help so many people. So
no, thank you.
I appreciate that. All right. Well, if no one has any questions, I am going to end, and I will see you, Julie, soon.
Okay. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.